Welcome back to Things I've Learned podcast. I'm Cheryl Buchanan, and today I'd like to talk about how consistency helps create change. If you've tuned in, my hope is because this is an interesting topic and one you want to learn more about. First, let's take a few breaths together. I like to use a box breathing technique when I'm transitioning from one thing to another without a lot of time in between. I just do 2 cycles of breath by inhaling for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhaling for 4. Let's try it together. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale. That's great. Okay, sit back and relax and take this time for you to get fully present and focused without distractions. I want to talk for just a minute about change. There are different types of change. There's the kind that you desire to implement, and there's the external kind that happens around you for many different reasons. In either of these situations, how we think about change has a big impact in how we approach it, and how we think about it also impacts our consistency. We all know change is coming, so intentionally working on our thoughts makes sense. Gail Sheehy was quoted as saying, "If we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living." When it comes to change, sometimes our initial reaction is excitement, and sometimes, well, not so much. If you're like me, my brain likes to put up a big caution sign. My brain says, wait, danger, this might not be good, and I need to protect you from anything scary. I've learned to notice these signs, and now I'm able to work through my thoughts much quicker because I've practiced not only noticing my thoughts, but normalizing them and deciding what is helpful or what is a better thought that I can use. But all that practice doesn't mean my brain still doesn't put up that danger sign. That's its job, and I'm thankful it's working. We've had some change at work recently. And although it's had a small impact on me directly, there have been impacts within my direct circle. And sometimes, well, it just feels heavy. One thing I do to process this is to simply acknowledge it and tell myself it's okay and it's normal to be feeling this way. I try not to brush aside the feelings or say I shouldn't feel this because it's really not directly impacting me. I listened to a meditation recently and learned about the practice of karuna. It's simply a way to show compassion for everyone, and the meditation guides us toward compassionate thoughts. I love this concept. If you want to practice and you have the Calm app, you can just search for it and try it out. Or you can simply direct these phrases to yourself or others. May you find relief. May you find peace. May you be at ease. The other type of change is the kind we want to implement for ourselves. Maybe it's learning a new skill, a new hobby, losing weight, working out. Whatever type of change you're looking for takes time, practice, and in my opinion, most importantly, consistency. The definition of consistency is simple. It's the quality of behaving or performing in a similar way. So why is consistency important? Well, it's because it leads to momentum. The more consistently you do something, the easier it becomes. So all that sounds great, simple, sign me up. But why do most of us struggle with consistency? One of the areas that impacts many of us is we get impatient when we don't see the results we think we should based on what we've been doing. I think this is one of the reasons it's really important to have goals written down with intentional action steps that you're going to take to reach that goal. This helps you to have data to look at when your brain says, I've been doing all the things and I'm not getting anywhere. You can pull out your data and know if you're really doing all the things. I've worked a lot on my thoughts to believe that small steps are enough and are way better than no steps. The things that we think are too small to matter are the very things that add up to matter. One big thing that has helped me is actually calling it a practice. By calling it a practice, that signals to my brain I'm still learning. I don't have to have it down perfectly. Woohoo! Here's a great example for me in consistency and impatience. I've mentioned that I have a meditation practice. I consistently practice at least 5 days a week. It's now part of my morning routine. So, why am I using this example? Because my brain likes to tell me I'm not really doing it right or consistently because I'm not always fully present. My brain will wander and think of my to do list instead of focusing on my breath. On those days, my brain tries to say, "You don't get credit for that one." And then I remind myself of the facts. The fact is, I sat in my comfy chair, and when I noticed my mind wandering, I brought myself back to my breath. So I am getting better. I'm consistently practicing this technique. For me, change in my routine will throw me off my consistency game very quickly. I have a goal of walking 7,500 steps a day minimum. I've done this every day this year, minus one, when I had to make a little visit to the ER back in February. Well, in June, I got a really bad summer cold. I haven't been that sick in a really long time. And it was my birthday month, no less. But I digress. So, anyway, I wasn't able to do my 7,500 steps for 9 whole days. And let me tell you, getting back into consistency was a bit of a battle. I had to really think about it. My brain was finding all kinds of excuses like, "You've already blown your streak. It doesn't really matter anyway." But it does matter. I've been listening to a course on consistency, and one thing that really resonated with me is when she said, people that are consistent find a way to talk themselves into what they want to do. Wow, that was me. I needed to talk myself back into what I knew I wanted, which was to get my 7,500 steps every single day. It's good for me physically and emotionally and supports other goals I have for myself. So I got back into my routine and I'm back on track and doing it every day. I like my intentional walks and I feel better when I meet my goal. So think about something you want to change, some new habit you want to grow in your life but are struggling with implementing. A great quote I heard recently by Inky Johnson said, "How you view what you do determines how you do what you do." So think about that. How are you viewing the change you want? Are you dreading it? Are you telling yourself it sucks or it's too hard or it'll take too long or require too much effort? How about if you turn that around? What viewpoint would you have to want to implement the change? What goal could you set with small improvements and consistency could add up to big results over time? I'll close with this. I was talking with a friend the other day and we were both venting and frustrated about some things. She said, "I hope I'm not bringing you down. I listened to your podcast and know you like to be positive." I said, "Girl, we all need to vent, and in no way are you bringing me down. Yes, I practice meditation and self improvement, but that doesn't mean I don't get frustrated. I'm just willing to continue to work on growing and becoming a better human." Which reminds me of this quote by Dan Gilbert: "Human beings are works in progress that mistakenly think they are finished." I hope we all keep learning and growing, my friends. That's all for now. Thanks for listening and make it a great day.